So just like in the regular season, in the second half, Indiana came out and leaned on Oregon, and Oregon couldn't do anything about it. Um, which, for the Miami-Indiana game, is going to be the key point again. And that's why I think Miami might have a shot on Monday night as opposed to Oregon. National Championship, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. Miami will take on the Indiana Hoosiers in their home stadium. I think they'll be on the visitors' sideline and they'll have visitors' uniforms. But nonetheless, in Miami Gardens. And this is the Hurricanes' home stadium. You know, it's not even on campus. Rest in peace, Orange Bowl. Can Miami's pass rush get to Fernando Mendoza and disrupt him? That's the question that really determines the game for me. It's what it comes down to. Akeem Mesidor, Ahmad Moten, both of them are expected to play in this game after getting hurt last game. Moten was out. He was out a good bit, and then he came back for that Ole Miss game. Didn't even make it like 2 plays before he was hurt again. But both of these guys are D linemen, by the way, if you didn't know. And then Mesidor, he got hurt later in the game against Ole Miss, came back to play at the end, and they're saying it was an elbow injury and that he's going to be good to go. So we'll see how full strength they are in this matchup, because if they disrupt Fernando Mendoza and those back shoulder throws, those quick fade balls, those down the field heaves, then I'm not super worried about Indiana's run game against Miami. I know Miami can stop the run. I've seen it. Miami is 5th in rushing yards allowed per game nationally. So I think if they can prevent the pass, they can really limit the offense of Kurt Cignetti. And unlike Oregon, Miami, like I said, can stop the run. Oregon ranks 26th in rushing yards allowed per game, and it showed up in the second half in the Peach Bowl. And if you don't get to Mendoza, if you don't get to the quarterback, he's going to light you up on offense. And we've seen it. We've seen it throughout the playoffs. People doubted him. People doubted Indiana. And they just keep proving people wrong. So I'm not going to, if I'm Miami, I'm not going to let Mendoza just dot me up, which is easier said than done. Now, this Miami's secondary is probably the best secondary Indiana will have seen all year. But it's tough to guard chemistry. And like I was saying, they have a certain chemistry about them that they just know where to place the ball, where the ball is going to be. That wide receiver quarterback connection is second to none this year. And Miami will have O.J. Frederick back, one of their best corners. He basically locked up Jeremiah Smith on the fade balls in their game in the Cotton Bowl when they played Ohio State. So maybe he's able to do that to Surratt, or maybe they put him on Becker. But regardless, I think Mendoza is a lot more precise of a passer than Julian Sand. And, you know, the stats say both of them are high percentage completion guys, but you look at Julian Sand's film when they played big-time teams, look at Mendoza's film when he's played big-time teams, and one of them is more accurate. On the other side, the rushing game for Miami is what they want to do offensively. They want to impose their will. That's just Mario Cristobal's attitude. Although they rank just 68th nationally in rushing yards per game with 150, the mentality of this offense is we are bigger than you, we are stronger than you, and we're just going to fire off the ball and move you. Like there's not a whole lot of pin pull, power plays. Like it's just straight off the ball, man on man, and they're just going to push, which is their offensive style. And so the last 3 games, they've averaged 174 yards as opposed to the 150 over the course of the season. And so if Indiana can neutralize that run game, I think this offense might come to a screeching halt. Just imagine Carson Beck in 3rd and longs, and, you know, anyone in the 3rd and long in general, that's a tough situation. But Carson Beck in 3rd and longs, he really hasn't pushed the ball down the field that much, and when he does, he's inconsistent. Sometimes he's hitting guys, like in the Ole Miss game. First half, he's missing open guys. Second half, he's very precise with his passes. So you don't really know what you're going to get, especially in those third and longs. It could lead to turnovers, interceptions, anything like that. And so, but my gut tells me that Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor have not been really stopped by anybody. So my gut tells me Miami, because they're X factors, and Miami has looked so physical in these playoffs. But my brain tells me that I've seen Miami's run game stopped, like in the SMU and the Louisville game, but I've never seen Indiana's back shoulder ball and that dynamic aspect between Becker and Surratt and Mendoza really stopped. The closest I would say that happened was the Penn State game, and even in that game, they ended up winning. So I'm going to make Indiana, or I guess Miami, prove me wrong, and I'm going to pick Indiana to win this game. I think with the line being 8.5, you could easily see this game being really close, and then Miami being down by like a field goal at the end, they're going to either tie or win the game. And on that drive, like Beck throws an interception for a pick six or a fumble, scoop, and score. Like you could easily see it being a close game, and then at the last second, that score margin jumping over the spread. So I'm going to pick Indiana to cover too. Let me know y'all's predictions in the comments. Score predictions, who you think going to win, all of the above. If Carson Beck's going to crap the bed, if Fernando Mendoza is going to be held hostage by Akeem Mesidor and Ruben Bain. Let me know what you think.